Happy Saturday, guys. What's up? Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt. And this podcast is being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. You guys can use that code JUICE to get $30 off the order that will already have a 50% off savings with the semi-annual sale going on right now at OmahaSteaks.com. Promo code JUICE in the search bar. All right. That's about as flat can be. We get the hockey bet wrong. Sabres lose badly, but the Nuggets won or winning. I don't know if they won, but they're winning. Didn't matter because the Sabres lost. And then Boston College took care of business. They won the game outright. They should not have been dogs. They closed as favorites because the starting quarterback for Syracuse was out. 17-10, the win for BC. So didn't really understand that line from the books, but, we won a unit, lost a unit. Nothing, zero, no harm done. Let's go to Saturday here where I have way too many bets going on. Now, I have 4 bets I'm making official. I can give you 9 if you want because I've got 9 bets going. There's 4 I like the best. Those 4 that I'm going to make my plays for the podcast. You guys like to hear other stuff. I'm going to give you other ideas, other things you can look at, other bets you can make yourself if you would be so inclined to do so. For instance, if you would like to bet hockey today, I would bet the Penguins on the puck line. Why? Well, the Penguins are playing the Sharks. The Sharks are 0-9-1 on the year, and they've lost 8 consecutive times on the puck line. And the books are giving you plus money today. It's plus 105 on the puck line. Excuse me? How is that even possible? They are awful. They lost 10-1 in their last game. Well, you might go, Matt, the Penguins are bad. Yeah, they are, but it is Sidney Crosby's 1,200th game in a NHL Penguins uniform. I don't care who's in net. I don't care who plays. It's just a system play. It's a whatever you want. Trend is your friend till it's not. But we're betting that until it loses. Hasn't lost in a long time. The Sharks have scored more than 1 goal one time on the year in 10 games. Maybe today's the day, but, it's personal play, not official, but if you want hockey, there you go. There's your first hockey play. But more like that coming here on the podcast. Don't want this to be a half an hour podcast, so I'm going to try my hardest to squeeze as many bets, picks, and plays and explanations in because I guess you guys get mad when I try to have fun and I bet trends on uniforms and have fun. Everyone gets all pissed off. Everyone's all up in arms in the Discord channel. Oh, so we're making bets just upon uniforms now. What is this? Guys, lighten up, okay? Have some fun. Lighten up, okay? Just brush it off, okay? It's not a big deal. It's one play. We're having fun with it. I like the Sabres regardless of the uniform. I liked them last night. They played well at home. They beat the Avalanche 4-0 at home, okay? I like the Sabres last night. They lost. It happens, okay? So move on. Okie State, Oklahoma. Bedlam. The last time we're going to see Bedlam. Home dog, Okie State. Public dog, Okie State. Really public dog, Okie State. Don't care. When it comes to rivalry games, I'm taking the points, okay? Especially when I get 6, because if the game goes to overtime, we got a chance to push on 6, okay? Because if they score a touchdown, they may not need to kick the extra point or go for 2, and it pushes, okay? So when I get 6, I like it a lot. Okie State's 5-3 ATS. Oklahoma 6-2. We went against Oklahoma last week against Kansas. Kansas won the game outright. We're going against Oklahoma again because I think Oklahoma is fraudulent, okay? I didn't buy much what's going on. They haven't covered the last 2 weeks, not against UCF, not against Kansas, and I don't think they cover here against Oklahoma State. On the flip side, Oklahoma State has covered 4 consecutive times. They have won 4 consecutive games. Kansas State, Kansas, West Virginia, and Cincinnati. 3 of those 4 games have been at home. This game is at home at Boone Pickens Stadium. Some interesting, common opponents. So Okie State played against Iowa State and they lost. They're 3.5-point dogs. They lost by 7. Oklahoma played Iowa State at home and they lost. They won the game by 30. They killed them. So it's an interesting little what could go on there? That's their one common opponent. Does it matter? I don't think so. I think Okie State can run the ball. I think Okie State is going to get big plays in the running game. I think they'll be able to pick up first downs, but also get big chunks of yardage against this OU defense. I've not been a fan of this OU defense at all. Oklahoma State is 4th in the country at running the football, 5.7 yards per carry. Oklahoma gives up 3.7 yards per carry. That's top 50, but they do give up about 133 yards on the ground per game. Oklahoma State averages 190 yards on the ground per game. They can pass the ball a little bit too, but mostly they're a running offense. Oklahoma with Dylan Gabriel, I think Kansas laid a pretty nice blueprint there about how to take away the big plays and make Gabriel stay in the pocket. Don't let him get outside. Make him throw. Got a chance to pick him off. Got a chance to have him making some mistakes. It's Bedlam. It's in Stillwater. I didn't bet the over, but I lean towards the over just because it's crazy. But I think if the game flies over, it favors Oklahoma. So I think there's a chance the game may go under. So I'm not touching the total, just taking the points. Oklahoma +6. Oklahoma State +6. The Cowboys +6. Go Pokes at Bedlam. Home dog. Okie State +6 for 1.1 units. Second bet. This is a little bit of a hedge, okay? Because Iowa State could cash the over for wins today. If they go ahead and win their game against Kansas, they will get to 6 wins. Thus, we will lose on the bet of under 5 wins for Iowa State. So, for that reason, Kansas is at Jack Trice Stadium, and I think we have to play a little bit of defense here, okay? I'm not really in love with this, but I think we have to play defense on this because in terms of the season, Iowa State's 5-3. KU is 6-2. Both these teams are 4-1 in the Big 12. Iowa State has won 3 in a row. They've won 4 of 5. So I was wrong to fade them on the under. They've played well. The young players have stepped up. Matt Campbell has done a really nice job coaching this season. Iowa State on the year is 5-3 ATS. Kansas is 4-4 ATS. At home, Iowa State's 4-1. Kansas 0-3 on the road ATS. They are a different team away from home than they are at home. On the road, no good. KU was at home when they beat Oklahoma. Think Iowa State wins and they cover the 2.5 points. Again, this is sort of a hedge, right? We bet 1 unit on Iowa State to go under 5 wins. They win this game, okay? We'll bet the same thing next week, but we may have, if we're wrong here, we're going to have to double down. We're going to have to bet 2 units on Iowa State to make up for this bet and to make up for the head-to-head bet or the season-long bet. But for this, I think Iowa State wins. I'm going to lay the 2.5 points. Iowa State -2.5 at home against Kansas. 1.1 units down on Iowa State, -2.5 against KU. Play it to 3. Don't play it over 3. Second or third bet. This, again, is a little bit of a hedge. We have LSU over 9.5 wins. LSU needs to run the table for us to get to 9.5 wins. That is not going to be easy when they have Alabama staring them right in the face, okay? This is also a little bit of a hedge and say, okay, if LSU loses this game, we're not getting to 10 wins. So let's go ahead and bet Alabama because if LSU does win this game, they're going to run the table, all right? LSU's schedule, they play Bama, Florida, Georgia State, Texas A&M. While they could lose to Florida, that game's at home. And while they could lose to A&M, that game's also at home. I like LSU to win both those games. This road trip to Alabama, this is the game, okay? This is the worry. This is the game where we're going, okay, let's see how it all plays out. Alabama is 7-1 on the season, and they've played much better. I thought Bama would lose 2 games this season. They lost to Texas, but they've taken care of business ever since, and they've looked pretty good doing it. This is strength on strength. Alabama's defense, their strength. LSU's offense, their strength. Cancel each other out. What's the difference? Jalen Milroe up against an LSU defense that's not good. And I mean not good at all. They give up way too many points to walk into Tuscaloosa, in my opinion, and win. They gave up 28.9 points per game. 29 points a game given up on average. Alabama's scoring 30.6, top 40 in the nation, but they do it with their defense. Their defense is giving up 16.5 points per game. LSU's offense is scoring 44 points per game. They have the second best offense in the country, points per game. Really tough to stop them. They're averaging 5.7 yards per rush, 11 yards per pass play. Alabama, 6.2 yards per pass play. That's top 20 in the country. Rushing, 3.1 yards per rush. That's 15th best in the country. Strength on strength. What's the difference? LSU's defense is giving up 4.6 yards per rush. That's nearly out of the top 100 in college football. 8 yards per pass play, 93rd in college football. Alabama's averaging 9.6 yards per pass play because they throw the ball deep. If Jalen Milroe hits big-time receivers down the field, Alabama, -3, 1.1 units. Additionally, LSU is 8-0 to the over on the year. Number 61. I'm leaning it. I'm betting it. Not officially, but the over as well. I like Bama -3, and I like the over as well here on this. Could be a track meet. I don't think so, but Bama might score 40 on them. I mean, Bama can hang 40 on LSU. No debate in my mind. And LSU scores 24 points, and we're going over 61. So, Alabama -3, 1.1 units. Official. You want something extra? LSU Bama over 61 is another bet you can play if you would like. And finally, I am going to go to Washington, USC. Numbers 3. If Washington loses this game, the Pac-12 is not going to have a representative in the college football playoffs. And unfortunately for the Pac-12 folks, that is exactly what I think is going to happen here. I think USC is going to win this game outright. However, I'm just going to take the points in this and take USC plus the 3. 77.5 is the point total. You want to bet over? Go ahead. Can't bet under in the game. I'm not betting either one. I'm just taking USC. Why am I taking USC? Well, USC, I know you can math, they're 2-7 ATS. Yeah, but numbers have all been inflated, right? They're 2-3 at home. 1-2 for Washington on the road. Washington is undefeated, but they haven't covered in the last month. Last four games. Arizona laying 19.5, won by 7. Oregon laying 3, won by 3. Arizona State laying 28, won by 8. Stanford laying 28, won by 9. USC beat Cal by 1. I get it. They lost Notre Dame by 28. But I think this is where USC finally puts it all together and they stop this 6-game losing streak against the spread. They're catching 3 points. I think Caleb Williams and company, these two teams are very similar with each other. Michael Penix Jr. is trying to win the Heisman. Caleb Williams won the Heisman last year. On the road, they haven't looked great. Against Stanford, laying 28, they won by 9. Against Arizona, laying 19.5, they won by 7. Against Michigan State, they won by 34, but that's a Big Ten team. 0-2 on the road ATS against the Pac-12. They're on the road here again. And you got a team in USC that's catching points. This is the first time all year USC has been a dog. Taking the points, USC plus 3 for 1.1 units. Okay, so the official card is Oklahoma State plus 6, Iowa State minus 2.5, Alabama minus 3, and USC plus 3. You want extras? LSU Bama over 61. The Penguins on the puck line at plus 105. 2 other bets you can make. I'm not going to make you suffer through Northwestern Iowa. 31 is the total. Game's being played at Wrigley Field. Iowa is 6-2 to the under. There's no other way but to bet this under. Iowa played after a bye, off last week, but before that played Minnesota. 12-10 was the final. That's the final here, okay? If we get any sort of defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown, we're dead. That's why I'm not making it official, okay? Because it's literally, they could wind up with a 17-13 final and a false 30. It also could fall 33 or 34 or 31 very easily, okay? It's going to be right on the number. So I'm not going to make you guys suffer through that officially, but if you are so inclined, I have bet the under in Northwestern and Iowa. And finally, this is sort of a selfish personal play, but I think New Mexico is going to hang tough with UNLV. UNLV 7-1 ATS on the year. We faded them last week, and it didn't work. They lost by 7, laid 9. They lost by 7. This is on the road again, back-to-back road trips, and New Mexico's catching 10.5 points. I think New Mexico, who has not been good, I think they may lose the game. UNLV's 6-2 on the year. It's incredible. I think they win the game. I just think 10.5 points is too heavy. I'm going to go ahead and take the dog here. New Mexico plus 10.5 against UNLV. If you're looking for a late night game, that game is going to kick off at what time does that game kick? It's a late start, right, for New Mexico and UNLV. Where is that game? It's always so hard to find it on the rundown on this. There it is, 6 p.m. in Albuquerque. So there you go with that. That is a 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time kick. So not too late, but you've got that if you want. I'm taking the 10.5 points for New Mexico home dog against UNLV. All right, so those are the plays for today. Okay, 4 units going officially. Now, can we have a winning week? Well, yes, but we're going to need to do well today. Okay, this is going to be important for us. Have a good Sunday, have a good Saturday. If that does happen, we can pull this together here and get us, after a really rough week last week, a chance for us to potentially get ourselves going here. Now, I'm not going to give you a college basketball future here. Let's see. What are we down? We're down about 2 units or a little more than that. A little more than that. We're like 2.5 units down for the week. So good Saturday, good Sunday. We can have a winning week. It's possible. It's in striking distance after a very bad Monday and Tuesday. I'm not going to give you a college basketball. I'm going to give you 2 college basketball futures tomorrow on the podcast. Why? I have 4 plays going. I've really focused on college football here. We'll do college basketball, and I don't love the card tomorrow. I don't know how many bets I'm going to have tomorrow. I'll definitely have my teaser. I'll definitely have a Wong teaser. I'll have the player props on the live stream, but I don't know how many other bets I'll make. Maybe 1. I'm not. The card tomorrow is really ugly. It's so many bad quarterbacks playing. I don't know. I'm not going to have a lot in action tomorrow, so I could have 2 college basketball futures for you guys coming up on the podcast tomorrow, but that's for Sunday. Let's have a good Saturday. My name is Matt Perrault at Sports Talk Matt. To follow me across all socials every single morning, the Daily Juice podcast, always being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.